going, like, human nature is to be resistant to someone else's opinion, unfortunately. And so you see a lot of times when you're trying to like hammer your point into someone else, that they are going to pull back and they're going to double down on their opinion rather than you get anywhere and you guys reach some sort of consensus. So yeah, I wouldn't make any fucking laws. Fuck all that shit. What was the second? Ooh, the last dream I had. I feel like it was probably inappropriate and it was probably about sex, and that's all I can remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, was it? Okay, no, I'm not gonna remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was inappropriate and it was about sex. So I don't really dream about anything else these days. I either have dreams where I'm falling, like I'm flying and then I'm falling, or I have like sex dreams. Like that's pretty. Or I have dreams that are so wild and crazy and go so many different places and so many different directions that I could not possibly remember them when I wake up. And that's like when my brain is like overactive, whatever. What brought me to the BL world? Oh, honey, I tend to rabbit hole on shit. And so I'll find something and I have to know everything about it. I'm not a surface person. Like if you get me on any topic that I care about, I can talk to you at length until you're ready to run away about that topic, because I will have researched it to death. And so I started out, I started out with a Korean odyssey and discovered Korean dramas and was like, oh my God, this couple is everything. Their chemistry is amazing. I'm so in love. And then I wanted to learn more about them, and I couldn't really find any information on, they weren't doing a season 2, which was devastating to me because again, I loved it. And then I also couldn't really figure out who these people were. Like, so in America, it's very much that like, if you're a celebrity, you tend to have diarrhea of the mouth. You're talking all the time online about shit you probably shouldn't be talking about. Everybody knows what you think about everything. And so I tend to expect the same level of access that I've come to find is not true in other parts of the world. And so after I got over the fact that I couldn't find out any more about those two characters whose names I can't remember right now and I'm not going to fuck up, I was like, okay, like I tried to watch a couple other Korean dramas. None of them really resonated with me though, to the extent that Korean Odyssey did. So then I was like, okay, I need to watch something else. So then I went and I discovered Chinese dramas. And I think it was that I was on YouTube and then I went to Netflix and I watched a Korean Odyssey on Netflix. And of course, if you watch anything Asian in America on Netflix, they're like, here's all the Asian shit. And so I was like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. Like, I didn't know there were all these things. And so like, they were like, Korean drama, Chinese drama, why not? And I was like, yeah, bitch, you're right. I do want that. And so I found Meteor Garden. And I just thought all those kids were so lovely. And unlike the problems I had with a Korean Odyssey, because I watched a Meteor Garden so close to when it came out, there was like tons of behind the scenes content. And so I was pumped. I was like, oh my God, I have so much access to these kids as opposed to the Korean drama that I watched. And so I started like stalking the main leads, Dylan and Shinyu. And I just thought that they were like the cutest in their behind the scenes. It was like their chemistry was unreasonable. And I was like, ooh, are y'all really dating? You know, you'll see where this is going. And then I realized as I watched them more and more, because there was so much content. There was like, people were following them in airports, which I thought was insane. And like, people were just, there was always a camera in their face. And then I realized, and I was super disappointed to find out that like, the more access you have to a celebrity, the less actual access you have to who they are and what they think. And so when I would go on their social media or Weibo, which was already super hard for me to figure out how to navigate, I was like, I don't know anything about these people. I don't know what they actually think. I don't know what they do with their day. It's just like polar opposite of America. Like when you think of Americans on Twitter, they're always just, I mean, the amount of times people have been called out for shit they've said that's racist or sexist or offensive or wild, because literally in America, people just tweet all day. They're like, I feel like this, this happened, I'm mad about this. It's just like constant information about themselves, right? Like people have no boundaries. And then I found, when I was like following these kids, I was like, wow, like it's the polar opposite. Like the only messaging I was seeing was like, I'm going to be careful about my language here. Like, it was like they would have a message and it would just be about like China, but it was like, how, I don't know how you feel. I just know that you posted this flag. Like, I don't know what you think. I don't know how you feel. I don't know what your goals are. And unless you had like a really good interview with them, you never found out anything. And so it was like, even in their social media, I was like, oh, this is just a front. Like, this is a shell account. So then I was really disappointed about that. And I was like, I'm out. Fuck this. This is dumb. I'm sad. I don't think they're actually, if they're dating, we'll never know, because like apparently like dating will kill their careers and their lives. And so they're never going to come out even if they are dating. And now maybe they're not dating because everyone keeps asking. So around that time, I was feeling really down. And again, I tried to watch a couple of like Chinese dramas and none of them really resonated with me as much. And then because I was on YouTube stalking Dylan and Shinyu, I came across, or YouTube was like, you seem like you're really into this. What about a ThaiBL? And I was like, what is a ThaiBL? What is that? Who are these people? And then I was like, boy love. And I was like, oh, that sounds a lot like Japanese. Yeah. And I was like, but it's different because it's like a real series. And so I was like, cool, I'll watch this series, LBC. Don't even get me started. And then I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just like, especially after watching so many Chinese and Korean dramas where there was like no kissing or anything. It was like, when I finally saw them kiss in Love by Chance, I was like, wait, are you allowed to do that? Because like I had been conditioned to expect nothing but like these super fake like kisses like this. And so I was like, I suddenly got chased because in America, like, listen, in America, you can show pretty much everything but full on nudity, and it'll still sometimes be PG-13 based on the content. Like making out, taking clothes off, like simulating anything sexual is not necessarily in America considered to be NC. It has to be a certain kind of quality. And so I didn't realize that kissing was a big deal until like you removed it, and I made me watch 40 episodes of a show before I even saw people's lips even get close to each other. And then I was like, I feel so deprived, like that kissing suddenly like took on new meaning for me, because before that, I just never even paid attention to kissing. Like I didn't even realize it was a big deal, because in America, people meet and they're kissing 2 seconds later. So then I was like, what a concept. So anyway, I saw that in Love by Chance and I was hooked, and I was like, wow, it's so sensational. And it was like this really funny thing. And then I was like, I have to know more. I fell in love with Saint. Went down a rabbit hole, and here we are. What else? We're already 20. I feel y'all are not gonna watch all of this video because we're already 23 minutes in. Okay. How do you de-stress? What kind of BL story would you like to see? Why do you think we see an increased number of Thai BL yet we have no Thai girl love? Whew, Harumi hitting me with them hard questions. Okay, let's see. How do you de-stress? How do I de-stress? I'm really bad at it. I tend to be a high functioning, high processing person. I overthink everything. And so probably one of my biggest like self detriments is my inability to like unplug or come down. Generally what happens is I reach a point where I'm like physically incapable of maintaining the level of insanity that is my brain. And I will veg out and binge watch a show to try to like shut my brain down. Or I will do yoga. I will meditate, but like those I tend to go in and out of. Like I've been meditating I've been doing yoga since I was a kid. And it just depends on like whatever my mental state is at the time. Sometimes I can keep it up and sometimes I'm great at it. And sometimes I go months without even pulling out my yoga mat. But I pulled out my yoga mat 3 days ago and it was amazing. So I tend to believe that like reading, writing, being in nature, man, oh, that's like the number one. Like get me on a mountain, get me in the woods, get me away from people, get me around like some water and some greenery, looking up through leaves. That's it. I like that will instantly get rid of whatever I'm going through. If I'm in nature, I'm good. What kind of BL story would I like to see? I would like to see a story that just happens to be BL. Like it could be, I would love to see literally any other genre or medium of people. I would like to see a lot of like character depth and nuance and just like let it be normal. Like, cause it is normal and we don't treat it like it's normal, which is why it's its own genre. And I just like, I would love for it to not focus on the love story. Like I think so many hetero stories are like, you have love stories, right? But you have series where it's like, by the way, these people are a couple, and by the way, you might see them do their couple shit, but that's not the point of a show. Like a mystery show with a main couple, it's still a mystery show, and by the way, you might see them have like their couple fighting. You might see them like kiss and make up, but it's like, that's not the point of the story, because it's about them as characters, not who they're fucking. And so like, to me, I would love to see that. And I would love to see stronger stories around consent and love, and like empowerment behind the love, as opposed to like, I'm tricking this person or forcing this person into loving me because it's wrong. And the only way I can do that is by tricking or forcing them, which is gross and I hate it. What else? Why do you think we see an increased number of Thai BL yet we have no Thai girl love? Ooh, so you're asking about Thai specifically, so I'll try to keep it to that. But I think this is like, it's almost the inversion of what we get a lot here in America, where it's like, everything is about the male gaze, right? And so like, the male gaze is all about like hetero couples or girl couples. Like men in America love lesbians because the patriarchal standard is that like everything is for men, right? And so like, even two girls kissing, like men are into that in America because they're like, yeah, if I was there, they'd be kissing me too. And it's like, that's not how lesbianism works, bro. Like, that's actually no, like, but like, if you think about like the top industries in porn in America are like really weird girl shit that I'm not going to tell you about, and then like lesbians. But it's like really just straight girls pretending to be lesbians for boys, which is what a lot of men in America think lesbianism is. Whereas like, I think in Thailand, because boy love originated with like straight women, that's not their gaze, right? Like, they are still attracted to men, but they don't know how to put themselves in the story. So they're putting another man in their place, but they still are thinking about one of those characters as being a woman. So it's still very heteronormative, which is why we have so many weird patriarchal heteronormative standards in BL that are like really gross and I hate. And that could be another video. But like, when it comes to girls, again, we all live in very patriarchal societies, and the group of people that we love to demean and look down on and hate the most is women and feminine people. And so you're not going to get a girl who's writing about men as an exploration of her sexuality to even if you look at the women characters in BL, like, they're not respected. A lot of times, like, we're only just now getting to the point where they're not like villains or like treated poorly or like evil or whatever, because women hate women just like men hate women. And that's like the thing I try to explain to people, because people love to talk about like how men treat women, but women don't treat women any better. And so of course you're not going to have these women who aren't even like, all women, we're socialized to believe that other women are the enemy. And so like, the only way you can make somebody the enemy and make it a competition is to hate. You're going to hate your enemy, right? Like, that's how it works. And so like, to think that these women who are telling these stories that are about them, like somewhere in their mind, like they want to be that other character, but they don't know how to access it. So they decided to make that character a man, but it's still in their mind, like the women fulfilling the women role. They're not going to like throw a bunch of women together because they don't give a shit about women. And that's the thing. Like, they don't give a shit about these boys because it's very fetishist. And then they don't give a shit about women because nobody gives a shit about women. Like, women are the group of people that don't even give it, like, that have been socialized not even to give a shit about themselves. So that's my hot take. I'm sure you weren't expecting that answer, but I think about like this shit a lot. Favorite trope and most annoying trope in BL dramas. I don't even know if I have a favorite trope. So let's start with the things I hate, because we already know what those are. I hate the whole, again, like, I hate how many like rape tropes there are. I hate the idea that like this character just fell in love with this one man after like usually like some fucked up shit, and like, if it wasn't you, it wouldn't be anybody. Like, I'm just in love with you. No, you're in love with a man. You're gay or you're not straight. You can be anywhere else on the Kinsey scale. You can be anywhere else on the spectrum, but you're not fucking straight if you're fucking a man. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings to all the straight women that need that to be true, but that's not true. Like, the scale, there's a reason there's a scale that ranges anywhere from 100% straight to 100% gay and everything in between. And then you're not even getting into things like asexuality. Anyway, let me not. The point is, anything where it's like someone has to be tricked or manipulated or cajoled into being in a relationship with someone that they wouldn't initially be in a relationship with themselves. I fucking hate that shit. I'm not here for it. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. Favorite trope. It's not a trope, but it's a thing that I see a lot in BLs that, again, is not something that happens in America. And it's like the sniff kiss. I think that shit is so cute. Like, that's not a thing. Like, again, in America, like, everyone's just trying to stick their tongue down each other's throats. And, like, we don't have any nuance. Like, the idea that, like, making out or, like, having a slow burn to me is, like, it's like opened my mind up again where I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I used to make out and it was great. Like, you could just make out with somebody and it's great. Like, what a concept. That's not really how we roll for the most part in America. It's like making out leads to something else. And so I just like the idea that something can like build over time and people can sort of like show affection in a lot of different ways. So that's something I do really enjoy. The soft stuff. I'm not a big soft stan, but I have my moments. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, it's my ex-Twitter wife, Anusha. How much do you love me and why this fucking bitch? I love you a lot and I don't fucking know why, because you're really annoying and chaotic, but like apparently that's like my kink and that's why I'm not allowed to be in relationships in real life, because I have poor taste, which is why I'm in love with you. If you could switch bodies with any BL star, who would it be and why? Why do you ask me these kinds of questions? If I could switch, why would I switch bodies with somebody? Like if you ask me if I wanted to be up on somebody's body, that's a different question. But to switch bodies, I don't want to be in a man body. Like that's not, I used to think about that as a kid and I'm like, I don't want all that. That's not for me. Like I have penis envy, but I don't have penis envy. Like, so I don't think I could switch bodies with anybody because it would just be, also I'm really short and I like to be low to the ground and most of these kids are really fucking tall. And so like, I don't want to have that kind of vertigo. So, but it's not fair if I don't answer the question. So if I had to switch bodies with a BL star, I would say it would probably be Josh, Poppy, or Z, because all of their bodies are like chef's kiss. And I would like to just like run and flip over some shit. Why the fuck not? Like I am really hyperactive. And so I feel like any of those I would A, just like love looking at my abs. And then B, I would be able to literally just like do like some wild ass like calisthenics or some shit. And that would be fun. So that's my answer. Saint or Z, you can only choose one? Bitch. We're gonna fight, Anusha. We're gonna fight. Why would Saint or Z for what? Like what am I doing with them if I choose one?